me nothing to get sober. But if I hadn't got sober, it'd have cost me everything.
Wow.
Do you know what I mean?
Hi, my name's Emma and this is Empowered Podcast, a safe space to share the journey of overcoming life's various hurdles to living your most empowered life. I'm beginning this podcast series by speaking about sobriety and the alcohol-free lifestyle. I get so many messages of kind comments and questions from people who are curious about going sober. After 16 months of sobriety myself, I was starting to feel a bit stuck, a lack of purpose, and that's what inspired me to create this podcast, so that myself and others could share all in one place about our journeys. My hope is that this podcast supports and inspires others to make a change to benefit their lives if any of these stories resonate. Hello and welcome to episode 3 of Empowered Podcast, where today we're joined by a very good friend of mine, Mr. Jonny Harkin-Lavender, as you are now married.
That's it.
So I want to start firstly by talking about your relationship with alcohol. So you are now coming up 2 years sober, but how would you have described your relationship with alcohol before you decided to stop?
Well, it was absolute hell. Actually, when I look back, I think, how did I carry on for so long?
I know.
Like the hell I used to put myself through. It's just unbelievable. It's scary, really. I've never had a good relationship with alcohol. It's always been ended in disaster. Majority of the times it's ended up in tears.
Not always your own, other people's.
Yeah, majority of other people's, as you know. And it's just awful. Like, it just wasn't for me.
No.
It didn't work, but because of my age, growing up in your teens and your 20s, the normal thing is to go out and enjoy yourself with your friends. And at the time we had Cornwallis Street and we had the boat and
you, when we were underage and you used to...
I had to draw my own
draw your goatee on.
goatee on in circus mirrors so I could get in and nick my mum's glasses and take the lens out.
Did.
I went out with an 18th badge on, do you remember?
Every week.
What was he called who ripped it off?
I can't remember, God knows.
And he ripped it off my shirt. I mean, I was only 15, but I've always enjoyed going out. I loved it. Like,
so would you have said you were a binger? Because I was a binge drinker.
Oh,
or were
absolutely.
You
but
further down the line where you were addicted to it, do you think? Dependent?
Yeah, it's like, obviously in lockdown, with my work pattern, I had 4 days off every week.
Yeah.
My relationship was in tatters, and you had to be on your own, even though I didn't stay in a lot of it. But it's sort of, what can you do on your days off? So I'd drink.
Yeah.
And
is that because you felt down?
I felt lonely, I felt depressed, anxious because of what I'd done the week before. And it just got out of hand very quickly. Even though throughout my childhood I've never ever wanted the party to stop.
No.
I've always loved going out, enjoying myself.
Being the last one standing.
Yeah, when the lights come on and you're like, oh my God, we've got to go home, or we'd go back to someone else's house and then they're literally throwing you out the kitchen with a brush because you don't want to leave. It's like, because I never ever wanted to go home.
Yeah.
Because once that door was shut, I'd get this fear of like, oh my God, I'm at an empty house now. Like,
I know, and you know that has just reminded me of a funny time. The one time in our 20 plus years of friendship that I was really, really cross with you.
Oh
when
God,
you turned up to my house in the middle of the day.
In lockdown.
In lockdown.
You were getting
we had building work. Yeah, Grand Designs was going on. The house was literally
a mess.
The pits.
I was embarrassed.
and he turns up. Literally, you that's the only time, honestly, in our friendship that I've ever been dead cross at you. And but now you've said that, I think I feel a bad friend now that I didn't know how low you felt. Do you know what I mean?
No one should feel guilty because at the end of the day, I made that choice. It was me that chose to drink and get up in the morning and have another drink.
But sometimes you don't feel there's another option, do you?
No, and it's It is like a medicine.
Yeah.
Because I knew at the end of the 3 or 4 days, I knew exactly how I was going to feel. So the longer that I could prolong that feeling...
You didn't want the down to come.
Yeah. And it's like, well, what do I do? Just sober up and then go through my phone, cringe, be embarrassed, having to apologise to everybody. Why do I want to face that?
Yeah.
So I'd just carry on drinking again and put YouTube on. I'd have like Wham On, Whitney. And don't get me wrong, I'd have such a good time. Like, I'd just have the music on, I'd have my fags.
Yeah.
But then it just got dark and out of hand, and there was situations in my house where if anyone would have walked in, they'd have been absolutely heartbroken.
Yeah.
The situations that I put myself in and stuff.
Are you comfortable talking about any of them low times? Like, what's been your
I'm
points?
through them. It's like, I'm not low anymore.
Yeah.
And it's good because the people that are listening, if they can relate to it, then...
And make a change.
Yeah, that's what the benefit of this is.
Yeah.
I'd go to bargain booths, and the staff in bargain booths thought it was hilarious.
Yeah.
Which,
but you are.
From the outside looking in, someone turning up in a dressing gown...
I can imagine, yeah.
At 8:30, sitting on the delivery van with 2 fags hanging out the mouth, like just singing songs and just absolutely clear-eyed. To them, it's funny. And me at the time, I'm thinking, I'm hilarious. Everyone, thinks it's great. But when I look back, how low was I feeling? Like, like I wet myself sometimes. Like, that's not good.
No. It's losing the control, isn't it?
I was losing control all the time, and like smoking in my house. You know how house proud I am.
Yeah.
I'd smoke in the house. I'd put fags out in candles.
Yeah.
How I've never set my house on fire, I will never know.
No, well, I remember once we'd come back to yours. It was after we'd been at a tropic thing up the golf club. Remember, we went to the Berry.
Come up on my memories of the day. Is that when I signed up? Because your mum, I'd had a picture with your mum and dad.
Yeah, and then you asked me for a refund the next day. But we went back.
That was a week before we went in lockdown.
Yeah, so we went back to your house that night, and we were just, you weren't dead bad, but we were having a drink and partying, and you fell asleep. Everyone went home, and I was the last one, and I couldn't turn your fire off, and I was like, I couldn't wake you up, and I thought, he's going to burn the house down, and he'll just be asleep. Mm-hmm. But I didn't know what to do. I couldn't wait you. Like, I'd already rang my taxi.
I should have put the gas bill to you.
You put the fire on, love.
No wonder it was sky high.
But then, honestly, I was worried all night, and in the morning, thinking, what if you don't wake up?
Oh, don't, honestly.
And then you were like, hi! Like, nothing had happened the next day. So do you think, like, you disassociated from these times that you did to try and forget about them?
Yeah, and it's like, you always want to forget about them. And it's like, what do you mean, like, is this why I've come sober? Or what?
So do you think when you've been in those scary situations and you've come out of it, woke up the next day and you're fine, have you disassociated from what's happened to kind of feel better and not get worried about what could have happened to you?
Yeah, because at the time, I didn't think it was that bad.
No.
I thought, I've only left the fire on.
Yeah. You probably didn't even know it was on.
It's my gas bill. Do you know what I mean? But I've done it before. You know, Ben's mum's come up my house and the fire's been on. It's like one of them log burners where the doors, you have to shut the door. The door's open. It's like, well, looking back, that is so dangerous.
Yeah.
And like going back to when I was just smoking in the house, like I'd just flick fag butts.
Yeah.
I'd wake up and they'd be all over.
And if that could have hit something.
Yeah, not only that, it's like, I am so house proud.
You are.
I'd wake up after 3 or 4 days being on the drink, honestly.
Mortified.
I'd go downstairs and I'd be like, there'd be cans, bottles.
It's the smell as well then, isn't it?
It'd all spill all over the floor's sticky, it stinks. And I just thought, what am I doing?
I know.
But then I'd sort it all out. I'd message everybody, riddled with anxiety.
I know.
Then I'd have the sweats. Then I'd be depressed. Then I'd probably want to kill myself.
Yeah.
The amount of times where I've wanted to jump out the bedroom window.
I know.
I mean, that is serious as well. Like, sometimes you just think there's no other way out.
Yeah.
And then I'd go and do it again. I'd go to work, and then I'd go and do it again. But I'm not blaming lockdown because I think that was just...
It heightened a lot of things though, didn't it?
Yeah, it was going to happen.
A problem that was already there.
Yeah, it was going to happen sooner or later to me.
Yeah.
Maybe you can look at lockdown as a blessing because I've got to it at an early stage. Whereas if I'd have carried on doing what I'm doing for another 10, 15 years, because at that time I had no intention of stopping.
Right.
I always wanted to control my drinking. I've been to therapy when I lived in Manchester. I've been to the doctors. And the whole reason why I went to these kind of things was not to give up drink. It was I wanted to learn how to drink like everybody else. So when I went to therapy, I was paying 50 quid a week. And from that, it was like I'd drink shandies. So they'd say, why don't you go out and start with a shandy? And then after 2 or 3 shandies, go on to a lemonade tops. And then go on to a pint of lager. I'd go start with a shandy and then that'd be it.
So what... After all them dark times and scary times, what was the moment that made you go, this is it now, I need to stop altogether?
Well, it was the last bender, 5 days. I'd been away for the weekend. I think I'd been out on the Friday, the Saturday, and I'd gone out the weekend. And then I'd come back from, it was this festival lookalike thing that I'd gone with Lissa and Molly and Livy and Tara. And on the way back, I bought 3 bottles of wine for the car journey home.
Oh my God.
So on the way back... but I'm happy.
Yeah.
I'm like thinking, I'm still half cut the next day. And I thought, I'm going home to nobody. Like, why do I want to do that? Like, it's so depressing. And I just felt, I just want to enjoy myself. Because then, once I get more and more drunk, Tara's going to come with me. Then I'll go around town.
Yeah.
So then I'm just carrying it on. So I'm not going to be on my own. So then I did do that. Turn up, go out, absolute leather. Then, 10, 12 people come back to my house. Then we're on it till 6, 7 o'clock in the morning. People are kicking off. So then I ended up going back to someone else's house. And then, obviously, that's another night. And then I just woke up. I think it was the Tuesday morning. And I thought, oh, my God.
What have I done?
Yeah, like messages on my phone. And people have just had a gutful of it. And then I knew in the back of my mind then, I thought, I always knew I should give up. I was so scared.
Yeah.
Because I thought my life's going to be so boring. I'm not going to get invited to these parties. I'm not going to get invited on hen do's. I'm not going to be able to go to Benidorm again. And how will I go to Ibiza and enjoy myself? And I just thought, what's the point in living if you can't go out and drink?
Yeah. That's what you think.
It's so socially acceptable and everything, 95% of things that you do revolve around having a drink.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
But we're going to change that.
Yeah, absolutely. And I just think, and I got to the Thursday, and I'm not joking you, it was like someone lifted me out of bed, and I got out of bed, and that was it.
You just had that split decision.
Oh, that was it. And I'd gone to Kelsey's, I think the day before, and she obviously, you know what she's like, and she went through me. Not like she usually does. She said, I'm not going to say anything I haven't said, it's up to you what you do. And then the Thursday, literally, bolted out of bed.
Yeah.
Made a few phone calls, got help, and then that was it.
So getting help for you, what did that consist of? Like, who did you contact? What have you put in place
so
that
at
helped
the
you
time,
stop?
I just got straight, I rang the Well.
Yeah.
Because I just thought that's the only, I rang Well, Unity, and then obviously had a conversation with them, and then I got in touch with Leo Rock.
Yeah.
Who's, honestly, every day just so grateful for everything he did for me. And then it just stemmed from that, and I went to a meeting and he took me, and we were on about it last night actually, so I went to his for tea, and what a nervous wreck I was.
Yeah.
Me nervous.
I know.
You know what I mean? It's like, and I walked into the meeting and I was like, I was broken. You know, people said to me like 6 months, when you come in here, you were broke. People outside of that room and that just think I'm Jonny.
Yeah.
Like, he's fine. Like, he's always bubbly, he's always chirpy. Yeah, he's a nightmare in drink, but what people didn't realise is what was going on up here.
Yeah.
And it was, when I look back, it was scary. Like, how low I was when I look and think. And it's all stemmed through, like, things that have happened in the past, like childhood things.
Yeah.
Trauma, yeah. And some people don't have trauma. Some people have got a brilliant life and still turn to drink. And that's what made me realise that alcoholics don't have to have had a bad life.
No.
But all that, certain trauma things and, struggling with my sexuality, when I was 16, and, growing up as a kid, and certain other things. It obviously played on it, and, I chose to drink to block certain things out.
Yeah.
But really, it was just an excuse as well to drink. When I look back.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
I just think, and I always thought my life was the worst, But
because it's your life, though.
Yeah. And it's, how selfish is that, though? Like, when, people close to me have had, things happen in their life, illnesses, people pass away at a young age, and there's me making it all about me. That's what drink does. And I didn't realise all that until I went into the recovery and went to the meetings and spoke to other people. I still walked in that room thinking I'm going to walk out of there and be able to drink, or I still thought it was all about me.
Yeah, so you weren't fully admitting.
No, I didn't.
Was.
I didn't say admit my problems with drink probably till about 2 months in.
Really?
I was so ashamed, so embarrassed,
and that's something that we want to try and help
so
people with,
to admit
isn't it?
But honestly, 3-4 months in, I was so proud because I started to see the change in my life.
Yeah. So tell us about that then. What changes have you noticed? What benefits have come to your life through not drinking anymore?
I feel better. I feel so much happier. And I said about I didn't want to go home after a drink on my own. I absolutely love being at home on my own.
I know.
I absolutely love my own company. But I think as well, it's mentally. I don't feel as drained. I don't feel as anxious. I mean, I have days where I do get anxiety. I have days where I feel down. I mean,
that's
nothing's perfect. But just my life has just totally took off in the last 24 months.
Yeah, and you've got married.
I've got married. I've got my own dog. I'm moving house. My job's absolutely perfect. I know I've got a brilliant career ahead of me, hopefully. My relationships with my mum, my dad, my friends, they've just literally... I'm very, very lucky that I've had an amazing circle of friends that have put up with me, and they've put up with a lot of stick. I've been absolutely horrendous to some people in my life, which I'll always feel guilty for, but I'm very, very lucky that they've forgiven me.
Yeah.
And they've stood by me, because not a lot of people would do that.
No, they wouldn't.
A lot of people just wash their hands of it and not put up with it.
But I think that's because we always knew who you were, not in drink. We knew you were this person and you'd do anything for anyone. You've got a heart of gold. It was just, like you've always said, the very Jekyll and Hyde, weren't you?
Oh, there's no other way of explaining it. I was an absolute nightmare when I look. I mean, don't get me wrong, we have had some good laughs, haven't we?
Yeah, we can look back now and laugh about it.
Yeah. But I was vile.
Yeah.
Absolutely vile to people. And how I didn't get put in intensive care.
I know, I don't know how sometimes you've not had the absolute
and it's not even that,
it's
the scary situations I put myself in, not knowing how I've got home.
Yeah.
I'd wake up with bruise, scratches.
Oh my God, right, what about that time when you said somebody bit you?
I'm still convinced I was bit.
Nobody bit you. And then there was no teeth marks or anything. We were all like, oh, here he goes. And I literally said, there's no teeth marks. Then he sent a second picture with teeth marks. So he'd clearly just bit himself to prove the point that he's been bit.
Insanity.
Well, that's what it was like.
That's what it is.
You did become, when you were pissed, a bit of a Billy liar, weren't you?
Yeah. I'd make stuff up.
Yeah. Someone bit me last night and you were saying it was a girl that was not even in
But
barrel.
you know what, though? It's because I couldn't remember.
Yeah.
So I'd try and put a story together.
Yeah, to make it make sense.
Because I was so frightened of what had happened to me. This is how insane. This is what drink does to the brain. It's I would message people on Facebook. In my head, I've seen them out. So in my
haven't?
No, they haven't. So I'd message people and be like, oh my God, seeing you at the weekend. It was such a laugh. And they're like, I want out.
Oh my God.
So I was starting this conversation because in my head, I'd been an absolute nightmare. So I was trying to piece together my night.
Yeah.
And thinking, what have I done? I wanted to find out what I'd done. But then I'd message people and they weren't even out. I'd make up stories in my head.
Right, so if you've ever been the one on the receiving end of Johnny's messages,
I apologise, and it probably come across that I'm an absolute
into us.
That I'm an absolute weirdo, which I have been in the past. But yeah, it's absolute crackers. Like, I'd know I'd been out of a weekend, so in Preston Street, I was obsessed with going out and being in Preston Street. I never wanted to be banned, but I was banned every week from somewhere. But I knew I wanted to go out the weekend after.
Yeah.
So I've been into Preston Street before, made up that I'd lost my jacket or keys. So I'd go in on a Monday or a Tuesday night to say that, to see how their reaction was with me. To see if they'd be like, no, get out, you're banned.
Yeah.
Or to see if they'd be like, nice to me. So then I'd know.
I'm allowed in
before
again.
I go in on the Friday or the Saturday, I'm all right.
Yeah.
And like, I'd message like Cyan from Club M, not Club M, whatever it's called. Yeah, I'd like make up stuff like, oh, have you had my jacket handed in and that, to see what her reaction was. Has she put a kiss on the message?
Yeah.
Or don't bother coming here again. Because I'd literally had no recollection of what I've done. Literally from the minute I'd gone out to the morning, my mind, it was just blackout constantly. Like 10 years of my life has probably been a waste.
Yeah, I think that often. I always sit and think to myself, how much of my life have I wasted being hungover and anxiety ridden?
You spent 100, 150 quid and you can't remember it, so what's the point?
So on that note then, going out now and going on holiday, because I know you've just come back from holiday, you've been to Ibiza, doing all them things sober. What's like a night out on a holiday like for you now, without all that worry and anxiety? What different things are you doing?
Well, I have a nap in the afternoon. Not a siesta.
Well, you used to have a nap anyway.
But I never used to be able to sleep.
No.
So my body was exhausted. But now, I love going out. Don't get me wrong, I mean, if I go out around town, I mean, I've had some good times around town, but it's so much better. I can go in the car. And once people start winding me up or getting on my nerves, I can just go home.
Yeah.
I can also be there for them people that are still drinking. I can also be the lift home. I can also be the person at the end of the phone to make sure that they've got home all right, or checking the drinks, keeping an eye out. Like, I go out now, and even though I have a good time, I worry. Like, I've been in theatre bar, I've been in nightclubs, I've been away at Liverpool, and I'm like that all the time. Like, oh God, I hope she gets home all right. Just random people, like a middle-aged woman who's absolutely clear-eyed. I'm thinking, God, I hope she gets home all right. Or someone who's falling, I'm like, oh God, I hope they don't bang their head. And that'll play in my mind. Yeah,
because you know what you were like.
Yeah, and I know what it can be like. So that side of it, yeah, it's a good thing, but it's also a bit, I just worry myself sick over it. But on holiday, like you say, I've been to Ibiza. That used to be revolved around like getting absolutely...
And you loved that, didn't you?
Yeah. But, so out the 3 times I've been to Ibiza, twice I've gone and drank, and the other time I've gone completely sober. And being sober was the best time because I was present. Didn't deal with any hangovers. It didn't cost me nowhere near as much money. I actually come back and felt like I'd had a holiday.
Yeah.
Like, I experienced the island. Like, usually when I'd go on these holidays to Benidorm, and it was just literally absolutely leathered. But I could have done that anywhere.
Yeah.
I could have had that kind of time in Barrow.
Yeah.
And you're because not just sat in a pub. The only difference is that there's sun.
Yeah.
And everyone's a bit more wild when they go on holiday. They let their hair down, but I let my hair down no matter where I was.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? But yeah, so times now I've been away several times, and it's just better. I wake up and sometimes I get a hangover.
I do.
From the energy I've used.
It's
like,
weird,
because I'm always dancing. I'm always sweating because I've put Freestone on. I've always got my chippy tits dangling about. Like, I'm worn out. Like, after my night do, because I'd been...
Oh, you and Ben that night, you was like 2 ravers.
Yeah.
Every time I seen you, you took another item of clothing off because you was that
and I was
hot.
like, I woke up the next day and I went, I am rough. And I thought, imagine drinking and all that, how rough I would feel, because you're never getting any younger. People think they can just handle it all the time, but as you get older, your body can't take as much. And I think, God, thank God I don't drink, because imagine how dreadful I would have felt.
Yeah.
But instead, there was no anxiety present.
Yeah,
there was
so you
no
just
depression.
felt tired.
I was on an absolute high because I'd had a brilliant night. I've just got married. Everyone was there to celebrate. All I did was just felt tired and exhausted. And I was gutted that I was on a come down from
the good times.
The good times.
So, just going on to your relationship with Ben and how you're now married.
I mean...
Talk a little bit about that. And
look at what we've been through.
I know.
And no one thought we'd make it.
No.
You know.
But you probably didn't either.
No, I didn't. And I get why people had that opinion, because from the outside looking in, we were an absolute nightmare.
Yeah.
We were an absolute car crash. The things we've
In
done,
drink.
yeah, with the things we've done to each other. I mean, the things that I've done to him, is, you know, his family and stuff like that. It's horrendous. You know, I mean, the list it's a mile long, as you know, and now that I've taken that substance away, it's like we're kids again.
Yeah.
It's like we've took not any steps back, we've just took a massive hurdle forward to this. I mean, nothing's a fairy tale, nothing's perfect, but now I've removed that alcohol. I mean, he still drinks and still goes out and enjoys himself, but it's amazing.
And how does that work then for you? Because I know a lot of people that have reached out to me, and maybe have to you as well, say, oh, you know, I'd want to go sober, but my partner's a big drinker, or my partner's this.
I love it when he goes out. No, I love it. Yeah, so I'll go out. I'll give you some money to go out. Not that he needs it.
I know it's gonna fit.
But I'm like, oh, it's all right. I'll stay in, because I absolutely love it, because it's like having another kid. I've got Duke. That's my kid, by the way.
That's his dog, Duke.
But it's like having a kid. So, and don't get me wrong, I love the bones off him, but I just like to be at home.
Yeah.
With a nice bit of food, my Coronation Street catch-up.
That you were
and
once
chilling
on.
and zenning. That I was once on, yeah. And I just like my own space.
Yeah, so it doesn't affect your relationship that once
there's no
that
paranoia,
he drinks and you don't.
Because when he went out and I was still drinking at the time, I'd go out and spy on him. You know?
Dun, dun,
Yeah.
dun.
Like, I would be an absolute nutter, because I'd done them things. I'd go out and be an absolute horror, and I thought he was doing the same thing, and I was absolute psychotic.
Yeah.
I was vile. And
So
then
it's made your relationship so much stronger then,
yeah,
removing
if
that
I
drink.
still drank, I dread to think where I would be.
Yeah.
I don't know where. Honestly, I wouldn't like to say. Like, it's scary.
But look at you
It
now.
scares me, and I'm so lucky that I've managed to keep everything in my life that I could have lost.
Yeah.
Which probably a lot of the same people that have been in the same situation as me, they've probably lost a lot of that.
Yeah.
Because not a lot of people would stand for it. Do you know what I mean?
Well, no, they wouldn't, would they?
You know, and like, luckily people who know me inside and out, they know that that's not me as a person.
Yeah, and they've stuck with you.
Even though that drink's not an excuse, that's not an excuse for me to go out and behave and treat people like that. But thank God I've nipped it in the bud. And thank God I've got on this path that I'm on now, because I've managed to, you know, maintain that and keep the relationships and get where I am today.
So has it been hard to do that? Like, has there been a time where you've really thought you were going to have a drink, or you've wanted to?
Maybe I've said it in jest.
But you've never truly meant it.
If someone's getting on my nerves, I think, oh, I could just get absolutely leathered now just to block them out. But I haven't. I mean, going back to when I first give it up, that Thursday, I give it up. No, I think last week was on the Tuesday, and then I got in contact with people on the Thursday, and it was Liz's 30th on the Friday. We'd gone to Liverpool.
Yeah, we did, and I didn't know that you would.
No one knew.
There
was only Kelsey. There was Adrian, I think. I think that was it, and maybe Liz, because I said to Liz, because I nearly didn't go to Liverpool, because I was so frightened. And I remember I was on the phone with my dad, and I was like, Dad, what am I going to do? Like, everyone's drinking, and he was like, look, you can always start again. You know, it's like, if you know, just enjoy yourself, and, you know, because he's been there himself.
Yeah.
But then there was this one time where I thought, right, people are saying it's okay. Like, Kelsey and that said it was, you know, if you do, you do. But Adrienne, there was like a bar in our room, wasn't there?
Yeah.
And I knew there was alcohol down there, and she would not move from behind that bar. Honestly, and I'm so glad now, because I know that if she'd have moved, because she didn't know I was going to go for a drink.
No.
I was starting to get sneaky, and I thought, there's drink there, I'm just going to have one.
Yeah.
I'm going to have one and see how I feel. But I wasn't going to tell anybody that.
No.
I was going to lie and say, no, I ain't had a drink, until I got absolutely leathered and abused everybody. They'd
And
know.
then we'd know.
But because Adrian was chatting and didn't move from the bar, the urge went.
Right.
And I look at Adrian really and think, God, thank God you didn't move. Because
Thank God you didn't come up for air and shout into
No.
people.
Thank God you were boring everyone to death. But
Shout out to Adrian.
but yeah, like, because I would have had a drink.
Yeah.
And that's the one of the times where I've been really, really close. But it was only 48,
Yeah.
72 hours, it was still raw, and I'd gone to Liverpool and I'd managed to get through.
So all that time then, in these 2 years, you've not had another moment like that?
Not that I can really think where I've had to really like stop myself and think.
That's so
I haven't had an urge, I'm going to go to the shop and buy a bottle of beer.
Yeah.
I'm going to go to the shop and I'm going to go to the pub and sneak a drink.
That's
No,
so
because
good.
of what I've had in place. Like, I went into the recovery, went into the, to the meetings, and I had a support group
Yeah.
that was there for me. Like,
Do you think it's that accountability then, that you've kind of got to go back every week?
Because otherwise you'd feel guilty.
Yeah.
And I've had enough guilt. I'm riddled with guilt for the rest of my life because of the things that I've done. But doing this programme that I did, it got me through sort of to accept what I've done and to sort of forgive myself.
Yeah, you've got to.
I can never forget. And, but what am I supposed to do? Carry on with my life just absolutely hating myself?
No, you can't. You do a lot of gratitude as well, don't you?
Yeah, and I didn't know. I thought when I was drinking, I had nothing.
Yeah.
Like, literally, I just thought my life's a mess, Didn't think about the bricks and mortar that I was sat in, didn't think about my job, didn't think about friends, family, or all like that. I genuinely, in my head, thought I had absolutely nothing. So what is the point?
Well,
Whereas drinking's a long process,
doesn't
doesn't it?
That.
It's like drinking might kill you in a year, it might kill you in 10 years.
Yeah.
So that was my sort of outlook on it.
But now, you've got so much in your life.
Yeah, like I've got, and when, going back to the gratitude side of things, when I started doing the programme and putting things on paper and going over things, I thought, flipping heck, I've got a brilliant life.
Yeah.
Like, how ungrateful can someone be? Like, and making everything about me. That's all I did.
Yeah.
Was make it all about me. Everyone's had trauma. Everyone's got history. Everyone's got a past. It's how you choose to deal with it. Yeah, I mean, I can sit here until I'm blue in the face and say, well, yeah, I was going through a rough time and, drink sort of got me through it. No, it just masked it.
Yeah.
And then drink turned me into the most evil person. So people out of the friendship groups and stuff like that looked at me and thought I was this most disgusting, vile, evil person, which I totally get.
Yeah.
But the people that knew me, I wasn't like that.
Yeah.
But everything that I had in my life, going through the programme and stuff, I just thought, I'm so lucky. Like, why would I want to give this up?
God.
And that's why, now when I got in through the 12 months and, the recovery side of it, it just takes off. You start to see the benefits of it. And you start to see things grow, get better.
Yeah.
Even like your sleeping pattern. I mean, don't get me wrong, I did put on about 2 or 3 stone. But what's wrong with that?
Yeah.
You're putting weight on when you're drinking. You look ill. You look depressed. Like, I was dead behind the eyes.
Yeah.
I've got photos where at the time you don't realise, but I was black behind the eyes.
But like even your skin and everything, what a difference.
Yeah.
Like, it's all these physical as well as like mental changes, isn't it? That
I just can't believe that you can go to a shop and spend, £4, get absolutely bladdered, and that £4 could ruin your life.
for £4, what are you buying?
Well, I'd get a Lambrini or a Strongbow.
Shout out to Isabel.
Yeah, or Frosty Jacks. I won't get the expensive stuff because I'm not bothered. I'm not drinking because I want to enjoy it.
No.
I'm drinking to get absolutely bladdered, so why would I spend a lot of money on it?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And I was tight when I drank because I always used to think, well, I need to keep that money for when I go out.
Yeah.
So I won't buy this or I won't buy that because I want to keep it for going out at the weekend. So tight, but everything revolved around drinking.
Yeah, it did.
Everything was like, oh, like even when I'm out for a meal, oh God, I hope someone's going out. Like, my friends, I hope they want to go out tonight. Yeah. When people weren't having a drink, I'd go through my WhatsApp and, message loads of people, say, what are you doing tonight? What are you doing tonight? I'm such a user. Like, how bad is that though?
Yeah.
Like, I had so many acquaintances, but all I wanted to do was just drink all the time and go out and party.
Yeah.
But now, I would not change it for the world. Like,
No.
I wouldn't change my past to a certain degree. I would like to take back the things that I've done.
Yeah.
And the hurt that I've caused people, myself, and, the things that I've done to people. But it's all a learning experience.
Of course it is.
I'm just so lucky that I've managed to
Come
get
out
where
the
I am.
other side, yeah.
At, 31?
Yeah.
31?
Oh, yeah,
Yeah,
at the
but when I
time.
was- yeah.
I was thinking, we're not 31, love.
But, some people don't find this path until they're in the 50s, 60s. Which,
Yeah, so that makes me think, if there's people that are listening whatever age they might be, that are thinking, that sounds like me. What can I do? How can I make this change? What advice do you think you could give to someone?
Well, it's like, even if you can relate to any of it, like if you're blacking out, if you feel ill, anxious, if it's making you feel depressed, if you're waking up the next day and wanting a drink, if you can relate to any side of it, like if you're turning into an angry person, you're being abusive, you've got an issue with drink. I'm not here to diagnose people.
No.
You know, the only people that can diagnose you as a bad drinker or an alcoholic is yourself. You can't go to the doctors. You can't take a tablet that cures you. You have to admit it. And that's the best advice you can give to people. Yeah, it's scary. And you think there's no other way out, or you think there's no world out there without a drink. But there is.
Yeah.
And it's a much beautiful, brighter, happier world.
Yeah.
I'm just only jealous of these people that can go out and have a few drinks and enjoy it. Well, I used to be. I'm not now, because I wouldn't even want to drink.
No, you've come out the other side.
If the doctor said to me, you can take a tablet and you'll be great off drink, I still wouldn't drink.
No.
Because in my eyes and from my experience, I think it's the absolute devil. And I think it is for millions of people out there.
Yeah.
They just don't know it. So if anyone can relate to this kind of story or relate to anything that I've said, then reach out to me, you.
Yeah.
Reach out to a friend. Locally, you've got the Well, you've got Unity, you've got meetings online.
And I don't think people realise that there's all these things.
No.
So getting the word out there and creating a space where, even if that is just reaching out to you or me, a space where people can go, I feel like that.
Yeah.
Can I talk to you?
Yeah. Even if you just want to
I
go
know
for a brew.
You've said any day, any time you'll be on the end of the phone for someone.
A stranger, anything. It's like, at the end of the day, if I can save one life, then brilliant. If you can save 1,000 lives or 10,000 lives, then how amazing is that?
Yeah.
Just from doing something like this, or from doing the event, or just for being an ear for someone who is struggling, because sometimes people don't want to go to the doctor. You can't get in the doctors for a start. Don't even get me started on doctors.
Do a
you mean you've got to have your head hanging off to be seen, but and there's certain criteria that you've got to meet in order to get into certain places, to be accepted in, to be even listened to, which for me that makes me angry, but it obviously works. But that 72 hours, 48 hours, or whatever it is, that could be critical to that person.
Yeah.
So if someone is at the last resort, then reach out to anybody. Reach out to, and just have a chat. Like, it's not going to make you sober. And you're not saying, right, you message me, let's go for a coffee and we're going to get you sober. You've got to make that decision yourself. But there is other ways out there.
Yeah. And
there is options in order to get the help that anyone in the world deserves it. We all make mistakes. We've all got a past. We've also done some really terrible things through alcohol. And I think everyone deserves another chance, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And whether you have to have another 10 chances if you relapse. I've been fortunate that I haven't done that. Sadly, people do relapse, but they get back on track. You can always start again.
Yeah.
You don't have to, if you relapse once, you don't have to think, oh, well, I've done it, so that's it, it's the end.
Carry on now, drinking.
It's never, ever too late. Whether you're 70, 17, 30, if you want this kind of happy, sober life, a life free from demons, anxiety, depression, waking up full of fear and dread and what you've done, and then you need to get on board, don't they? Like us.
Definitely.
Like, it's that, honestly, it is. I never thought 2 years ago I'd be saying anything like this.
No, I wouldn't have.
But it's the best thing I've ever done, because look at everything I've got. I'm not a millionaire.
No.
I don't think you can put a price on it.
You can't. Definitely not. It's your life at the end of the day.
It's cost me nothing to get sober. But if I hadn't got sober, it'd have cost me everything.
Wow.
Do you know what I mean, though?
That is very,
it really would, though. And and it is so true.
Yeah.
I'd have lost my job, I'd have lost my house, I'd have lost my family, I'd have lost my friends. I could have been dead.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And at the times when I was drinking, I used to think, well, I'm probably better off dead, because everyone hates me anyway. I've got nothing.
You just spiral, don't you?
But I've got a new set of eyes, And I just see life in such a different...
Metaphorically means he hasn't.
I haven't
had
actually
his
bought
eyes.
some new eyeballs. But yes, honestly, I've just seen the world in a completely different light, and I'm just so lucky to have the people around me that I've got.
Yeah. I just need a cough, sorry. Cut me coughing out. Sorry about that. Little frog in my throat then. Right.
Ribbit.
Ribbit. So, we're sat here in our badges.
Yep.
So let's talk a
Proud as punch.
little bit about the vision that we've got for Empowered. Because for people that don't know, Johnny's been helping me a lot with this new little venture of mine. You are the CCO, which is the Chief Communications Officer. So Johnny's been kind of running, getting in touch with, getting us in the evening mail and stuff like that. And you're also kind of heading up the events side of things. So we've got the first sober event that we're doing, the Soberfest party in Park Vale, on the 26th of August. So do you want to tell us a little bit about what you've got planned, why we want people to come and join in with us?
Yeah, it's like, because we don't want to give the wrong message, like, well, you've got to come, you've got to be sober. Anyone can come. The whole point of it is to give people a safe space who are maybe thinking about going in recovery or have just gone into recovery, because there isn't many places people can go and have that kind of event which isn't revolved around alcohol.
Yeah.
You can always get alcohol at these events, at festivals and stuff like that, or it's always done at a pub. You know what I mean? So it's to give them kind of people somewhere where they can go, bring the families, and have a brilliant time, and know that there's not going to be any temptation there. There's not going to be someone absolutely care-eyed where they may feel a bit uncomfortable.
Yeah.
And as well, it's also to give people out there that do go out and drink and do socialise and enjoy a drink, but give them another alternative. So instead, they're not going to wake up with a hangover, and they're not going to wake up, 200 quid down, or they're not going to have their head down the toilet the next day. To give them another option to show that actually go to these events not having a drink is actually brilliant.
Yeah, I did have
I've
fun.
had a brilliant time. I've not spent nowhere near as much money, and I'm hangover free.
Yeah.
Me and my husband, me and my wife, wherever it is, we haven't had a ding dong.
Yeah.
I haven't called so and so this. I haven't tried to have a scrap in, a nightclub. It's just to give them kind of people this other option, because you know as well as I do, 9 times out of 10 people, when they do go out and drink, there's always some kind of drama.
Oh, yeah.
Somewhere along the line, there is some sort of kind of drama. So it's going to be a safe space for everybody.
Absolutely.
And they can bring the kids and just have a good time. We've got loads going on. We've got like food vendors, bouncy castle face paints, candy floss, sweets. We've got our friend Kelsey Bounce singing. Yeah. James Tyson's going to
be. She's going to be our famous girl soon.
Yeah, she's going to be the new Adele. And then we've got James Tyson, who's also in recovery.
Yeah.
So he's going to do a set for us. And then we've got the guy called Jack Dale. He's going to come and do some stuff for us. So fingers crossed we get the weather, and fingers crossed we get the audience. We want it to be packed out.
Yeah, definitely. You can come along, just join in with us. We're not saying that we want to send you all away thinking, I'm gonna give up alcohol now. It's just come along, be alcohol free for this one day, have fun with us. Yeah. And it's Super Sunday the next day, so if you still want to go get pissed, you can do that on the Sunday.
Yeah, but it's only on 12 till 6, so if you want to go out after it and think, oh, it was boring that, and it's not for you, that's fine. Yeah. Brilliant, you've come and experienced it.
Yeah, it's giving something different a chance, isn't it?
And how can you say you don't want to do it if you've never tried it?
Yeah, exactly.
And if you want to go out and get absolutely levered after it, then that's fine.
Yeah.
But yeah, it should be good. I just really, really hope we get the weather.
Touch wood.
Because that's all it is. That's all we're missing now, isn't it?
Yeah.
Really.
So aside from that then, what are your plans? Like, what would you like to do going forward on your alcohol-free journey? Because I know there's a lot you want to do to help other people and give back.
Yeah, I just want to be an open ear.
Yeah.
All the time. Sometimes life gets busy, and if I don't get back to people or I can't help people there and then, I will always do my best to get there or to be there for people at any time that I can. And also, if anyone listens to this that are on the fence or struggling with drink or any other substance, there is help out there. You know, you've got the 12 steps.
Yeah.
You've got the well, you've got the recovery. You've got people in our local town that have done it.
Yeah.
That their life has been an absolute car crash and their life has gone from down here to up there.
Yeah.
Like, why would nobody want that?
I know.
And I just want people to know that there is help out there.
Yeah.
Like, I know how scary it can be. I know how dark, dangerous and awful drink can be for people and what it does to the mind and what it does to you just mentally. Like, really,
and I know that, like, we've talked about you saying, like, you want to create in the future some kind of a hub where people can come and...
If I won the lottery, I know, genuinely, or if I come into money somehow...
well, if anyone's listening who wants to sponsor us...
yeah, if anyone's got loads of money. I'd like to buy a building, obviously, and turn it into, like, a hub hotel kind of thing. So that if someone's maybe gone out and they're crying or they've got themselves in a bit of a bad way, in a dangerous situation, they don't know where to go, they can just come and knock on.
Yeah.
And have a cup of tea, bowl of soup, whatever it is, and stay the night.
Yeah.
You know, and maybe then we can sort of start the process that way, instead of having to be assessed over the phone and then having to wait for a call back for 2 days or 3 days. Because like I say, for me, that period of time could be critical for someone. So yeah, if I ever come into money, I'd like to have something like that and maybe have a cafe where people can go out when they've been to meetings.
Yeah.
Because when you go to meetings and stuff, you come out of there, you're like, wow, like, I feel absolutely buzzing. But where'd you go after that?
So then it's a bit of an anticlimax.
Yeah, because you can't go to the pub. Well, you could, but who wants to go to the pub really? So I'd like to sort of maybe get like some sort of cafe or something like that, so it'd be open of an evening, an afternoon where people can come and carry it on.
Yeah, definitely.
You know, and they can stay there till 10, 11 o'clock at night.
Yeah.
Why not? Come and have a brew and a bit of cake and have a crack.
Yeah, so events wise then, before we go, what other events do you see you creating for Empowered going forward in the future? Because I know we talked about doing like seasonal.
Yeah, I'd like to do something at Christmas.
Yeah.
But I think with regards to like, I think like a rave would be good.
Yeah, it would.
Because I think there's a lot of people out there that go out and use substances and drink and go to these raves. But I know there's raves going on in Manchester, Liverpool. Yeah. I mean, who doesn't like a bit of donk?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I mean, I wouldn't go out there and put it in the car out the way and put it on, but when I hear the tunes and stuff, I think, it's quite good. Imagine just being at a
back
rave.
to our chavvy days.
I think with stuff like that, you get high on the actual environment, the music that you're in.
Definitely.
So I'd like to do something like that.
Yeah, that'd
But
be
like
good.
For Christmas, I don't know really. What could we do at Christmas?
Leave that one with you. Planted the seed.
I'm not dressing up as Santa.
Sober Santa.
Yeah.
Coming down chimneys and that.
I'm not doing that. But I don't know, we'll think of something, can't we?
Yeah, definitely.
But hopefully if this one takes off,
it'd be
absolutely amazing.
So yeah, hopefully we'll see lots of yous there. You can come and have a chat with us. We're going to have the little pop-up podcast as well, where you can come and, you know, say your piece, say what you think. Yeah,
we've got Kath as well from Drop Zone.
Oh, yeah.
She's coming to set up a stall, so that's good for like for your mental and well-being. She actually said she's going to bring some beer goggles so that people put it on and it.
Oh, wow.
So it'll put you off being drunk.
That's good.
I'm trying to think of someone else. And the Salvation Army.
Amazing. See, I didn't even know these things.
So
My grafter.
I know, so I don't know if there's going to be enough room.
We'll have to get a bigger field.
Yeah, so we've got a lot going on, and we just thought that people come and enjoy themselves. It's just the weather in it.
Definitely.
And sadly, we live in.
We'll put good vibes out there.
Yeah, and we'll just say our prayers.
But like, get the good weather.
Great.
But no, I am dead grateful for everything that you've been doing. I couldn't have even
I'm grateful for this.
To organise the event, so I'm dead grateful that you've done that. Grateful for all the years of friendship, the ups and the downs,
haven't we?
And obviously for you
to party at your mum and dad's all the time when we were on holiday.
Yeah, we did. We used to love it, didn't we, when they were away? Trash the place.
And then we'd have to clean it.
That was the best bit.
I know. We had some good times there. Falling in the pond and that.
Yeah, the pond. But yeah, so if anybody, like Jonny said, has been listening and you do resonate and you want to get in touch, you can. Just drop us a message. But thank you very much, Jonny, for coming on and doing this interview.
Yeah, I've enjoyed
today.
it. So yeah, thanks very much.
If you've enjoyed listening to this episode, a like, follow, comment, share and subscribe would mean the world to me. By getting this podcast out there and starting the conversation of sobriety, if I can help even just one person, I'll be happy. So thank you and tune in next time for more amazing stories.